Hello, folks. How's it going? Hope you're well. I do want to talk about Leonardo da Vinci today, as we look at the psychology of famous people. But before we do that, I want you to imagine a mind that's so voracious for knowledge that it kind of leaps from painting to engineering to anatomy with ease. That's the mind of Leonardo da Vinci, a man who was not just a master artist, but also an epitome of the Renaissance man. And so today, let's kind of unravel the mystery behind this extraordinary intellect and see what we can learn from his life so that we can also live a flourishing life. So first, I want to talk about curiosity as a way of life, because Leonardo's life was a canvas of curiosity. In fact, this was a guy who would dissect a bird to understand the physics of flight and even then go to paint a masterpiece. Psychologists today might say he had an exceptionally high need for cognition. In fact, having a high need for cognition, it's kind of a drive to understand and make sense of complexity. And there are people like that. They want to tear things apart just to make sense of it. But how do we understand the psychology behind what this man have done or his art? I would say this, that ever since, I don't know if you've stared at the Mona Lisa painting and wondered what's behind that smile. If you've done that, I would say this, that Leonardo's art was really a blend of keen observation and even an understanding of human psychology. In fact, he knew how to capture emotion in a way that creates a connection with the viewer that's kept which not only it's fascinating, but also this connection that he creates have kept us guessing for centuries what might be behind his mind as we stare at paintings like the Mona Lisa painting. But I think Da Vinci's notebooks are also a wide ride through the imagination of the genius. In fact, he thought of flying machines, he thought of tanks, he thought of and even early concepts of cars. And so this is kind of sort of a divergent thinking at its best, I would say, because he explored many possible solutions to the human needs, and it is really a hallmark of a creative genius. Now, it's important though we also talk about his challenges and how he overcame some of that. Leonardo faced his share of challenges, as we would imagine. He had projects that were never completed, ideas that were years ahead of his time. Of course, people misunderstood him, and he became, some would call him a became socially deterrent in that sense. But he didn't let failure define him. This resilience is really a critical psychological trait that anyone looking to leave a mark on this world can learn from, because if you're going to leave a mark on this world, you must be resilient no matter what, no matter the oppositions to your ideas. In some of our videos previously on, I think Bishop Carlton, I did mention and emphasize his resilience in the face of opposition for his beliefs and convictions. I'm not so much in support of his theology. I've seen some responses to that video. Not that I'm supporting the theology, but I'm really highlighting his strength and his resilience, which I think it's a great quality that we should have in the face of opposition. But I think let's come back to Da Vinci, because I think that Da Vinci, his legacy is not just in his art or his inventions, it's also in his approach to life. He really showed us that boundaries of disciplines are there to be crossed. The fact that he was an artist, he could also be a physician, he could also dabble into engineering, and really shows that curiosity should be limitless, and that the pursuit of knowledge, it's a noble endeavor. And that's the point I want to point out, that don't ever limit yourself to a particular field, a particular endeavor, because of what people would say. Dare to be limitless if you can, and cross boundaries if you have to. And so Leonardo da Vinci's life kind of encourages us to stay curious, to embrace our creativity, and even to never fear the complexity of the world. In fact, it is about asking the why and the how and the what if, right? And so what's your Mona Lisa, right? What's your flying machine? And let's take the leaf out of Leonardo's book and dare to imagine. and dare to imagine. And imagine what would have happened if you took those steps, if you wrote that vision down, if you attempted that thing that's been in your heart, if you had crossed your discipline or explored a different line of work. Imagine the impact that you would have in this world. I hope you dare to dream and don't let anything stop you from being the best that you can be. I hope to speak to you soon, but it's been wonderful talking, and I hope that you have a wonderful time.